It is time to learn how to do animation on Scratch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to my stuff. And let's just get, here we go, a generic project. Let's see inside. All right, so let's suppose for a second that I'm going to pick a backdrop. I want to have my cat be animated. So let's just put him in his bedroom. And I would like my cat to, I know. Let's put him on top of the bed. And we're going to have him do like a little dance on his bed. Do not try this at home. So what I need to do is I need to get some code blocks out. So the first kind of block I'm going to get is an event block because I want to have some control over when this happens. So maybe what I'll do is I will get out the when space key is pressed block. This is going to be my event. So whenever the space bar is pressed, whatever I attach after this is going to happen. Now, for animation, if you've ever seen how animation is actually done, you know that it's a bunch of pictures that are just kind of shown to you in a rapid order, and that kind of makes your brain look at it and go, huh, it's moving. Even though what you're actually seeing is just a whole bunch of pictures that are flashing quickly at you. But it still makes the effect that we want, which is it appears to be moving. So I'm going to go to my costumes, and here's my cat. Now my cat has two costumes right now. And what I could do is, there's different ways that you could do animation. You could say switch to costume 2. And when I press the space bar, there, he moved. But I want him to do more than just that. So I'm going to switch that back to costume 1. And let's do this. Instead, one way you could do this is you could grab a repeat block. If you remember, well, come on now, cooperate with me here. And if you remember, when you use a repeat block or a loop, it will do the same thing over and over again, in this case 10 times, whatever I happen to put inside of this loop. And I can change this number, so that's a variable I can control. If I wanted to do it 10 times, I can do that. But if I have this, look at it. Think about what it says. I said when space is pressed. Okay, so we press the space bar, and 20 times over, the cat's going to switch to costume 1. Well, he did it 20 times over, but he was in costume 1 the whole time, so there was nothing to see. So what I want to do is I want to add another one of those looks blocks, and I'm going to get switch costume block again. This time I'll put a 2 here. Now watch what happens when I hit the space bar. See our little cat over here. Space bar. It seems like nothing is happening. Now that's not true. There's actually a lot happening, but we just can't see it. So what happened was, this is happening too fast. I hit the space bar, and 20 times he switches from costume 1 to costume 2. And he does it again, costume 1, costume 2. Again and again and again. But it's happening so rapidly that you can't even see it happen. So what I need is one more special block. I'm going to get a control block. And it says wait 1 second. Now 1 second, you'll find out, watch this. He's moving. Do you see it happening? It's like a little twitch. It's a little twitch. So you can see him moving. He changed his costume. But he's not staying in his second costume for very long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out another wait block. And I'm going to put it here. And that's going to change how it looks. Ready? So now he's moving. And look at my code and think about it. I hit the space bar. And in my repeat loop, he's going to switch to costume 1. And he's waiting. And then he switches to costume 2. And he's waiting. And then he switches back to costume 1. Waiting, and so on. Repeating that pattern 20 times. Now, if you're looking at this animation and you're going, okay, he's moving, sure. I'd like him to move a little faster, though. All right, then that's when we're going to change up some of the numbers right here. Hit the stop sign. Now, this is where math is going to come in really handy for you. So 1 second was just too long. The question is, what would be faster than a second? Well, please don't say 2 seconds, because that would be terribly longer. Twice as long, in fact. What I want to do is I want to get something that's smaller than 1. Okay, time to get into decimals. I could do a half second, which if you know what halves are as decimals, it's 0.5. So I'll have him wait a half second each time, and that's going to actually make him faster. So watch this. I'm going to get closer to the cat. I'll hit my space bar, and this is what a half second wait looks like. You see that? Now, he is much faster than he was, but suppose I want the animation to go even faster than that. Okay, let's use a different decimal. How about 0.25? And I'll do 0.25 down here. So this is going to make him even faster. Let's see what he looks like now. See, he's even faster. If I wanted him to go faster, and I do, I'll do 0.1. 0.1, that's a tenth. That's 1/10 of a second. Take a second, cut it into 10 parts, and use one of them, and that's what we're about to see. So let's see how his animation looks now. Ooh, much faster. That's better. Okay, so that's not bad. Now, if you wanted to, at this point, you know how to do some animation. This is not, by the way, the only way to do animation. Let me move this aside for a second. And now when I hit spacebar, nothing happens because nothing's attached. I will take out another repeat block. I'll set it to 20. I'm going to go back to looks, but this time I'm going to get out another block. Let me find it here. I had a student show me this, and it works really well. Next costume, there it is. So instead of putting out the specific costumes I want, as long as my list of costumes right here is the way I want it, I could just tell the program to just switch to the next costume. Now watch what happens. This isn't going to work right. But if I hit the space bar, oh boy, very twitchy, very twitchy. So you see he switched to the next costume a bunch of times over. But that was a little too fast. So I want to slow it down. So what I will do is, guess what I'm going to do? You tell me. What kind of block do I need to put in here to slow him down? If you were thinking another weight block, I think you just might be right. So let's put a weight block in there, and let's set it to 0.5. Okay, and let's see if this works for us. All right, back over here to the cat, spacebar. Yes, that's better. Good. So there's a couple ways to animate. One is to create a pattern like this and put it in a loop. The other one is simply to use next costume. The difference is with this, if you say next costume, it's going to go through the entire list of costumes. So if there's some costumes for certain characters that you don't want, you're going to want to eliminate them. If you like them, then go ahead and keep them. So this is the basics on how to do animation. I hope that this is going to help you make your card project even better than it already is. Good luck.